What's up, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Today, I am joined by my lovely wife, Joni.
Hello.
Say hello. And today we're going to talk about a question that I get from a lot of my clients around this time of the year, which is how do I get through all of these family get-togethers around Thanksgiving and Christmas without gaining a bunch of weight and hopefully to be able to actually lose some weight or lose some inches through this season. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button down to the right, the little red button that says subscribe, and hit the bell button so you get notifications for our future videos. And without further ado, let's jump into our list of 10 things that you can do to hopefully lose weight through the holidays. All right, so number one is decide what you actually want to accomplish as you go throughout the holidays this year. Do you want to lose weight as you go through the holidays? Do you want to maybe indulge yourself a little bit and just maintain weight through the holidays? Or do you want to put on the 5 to 7 pounds that you have to subsequently try to get off after the holidays and really enjoy yourself? So the next, 8 to 9 to 10 things that we're going to talk about on this list, if your goal is to lose weight through the holidays, then you probably want to do most of these things. If your goal is to maintain weight through the holidays, then maybe you do, 3 or 4 or 5 of these things, but not all of them. And if you're not worried at all and you're not worried about putting on 5 to 7 pounds through the holidays, then why are you even watching this video in the first place? But you could do like maybe 1 or 2 of these things just to sort of make sure you don't go completely off the rails. But that's the first thing you have to do. You have to decide, what is my goal? Do I actually want to lose weight? So you have the right mindset going in. Do I want to maintain weight, which is perfectly, that's fine.
That's fine. Yep.
Or do I want to put on a few pounds and then just take them off afterwards? Okay, so that's number one. Decide what you want to do because that's going to inform your decisions throughout the rest of this list. Okay, moving on to the next one.
All right, so the next item on the list is make sure you don't go to your holiday dinner starving. So this is something that I have struggled with for years. I was the type of person that would think, well, if I deprive myself earlier in the day, then it's okay if I splurge a little bit at this holiday dinner. Like, it'll be fine. But what happens is you haven't eaten all day. You get there, like everything smells so good, and you just eat everything in sight. Like, I've been there. It's bad. Take it from me. Don't do it. So a couple things to make sure you do. Try to eat something before you go, like some lean protein, some veggies. That way you're not totally ravenous when you get there and just like grabbing everything in sight. Drink plenty of water all day throughout the day. That way you're good and hydrated. You're not eating when in reality you're just thirsty. And keep water with you the whole time during the meal. That way, you're good and hydrated, your tummy's full, and you're not eating just because it's there, because you felt deprived. You're like, well, I didn't eat all day, so I earned this. I deserve it. Like, that's not how it works. So
yeah, it keeps your hands occupied too, right? I think a lot of it is just you have to have something to do with your hands, and it's either going to be food or it could be just water. Yeah,
so if you have your bottle of water, like, you have something. You don't have to like hit the snack table every 5 minutes. Like, you're good. Yeah. So yeah.
And along with this, on the flip side of this, so you said don't go in starving. Now, if you're someone who has experience with intermittent fasting, right? If you're used to skipping meals on the regular, then you could go the opposite direction of this, and you could actually skip, say, your meals before or after the holiday gathering.
Yes, exactly.
To conserve calories that you could then consume at the holiday gathering to sort of compensate.
Yes.
But I would say if you don't have experience with intermittent fasting, I wouldn't recommend that.
This is not the time to start.
Yeah, not the time to start. And even if you do have experience with intermittent fasting, I would just really be sure that you feel confident that you can walk into that holiday gathering with everything smelling so good and with all of those pressures and actually stick to your plan and not go completely overboard, because that could end up backfiring on you. But it's so I have a lot of experience intermittent fasting. That is something that I do. I'll kind of fast before or after the big holiday dinners, and then I'll do that. But so if you have experience with that, that's something that you could do. Otherwise, I'm totally in Joni's camp here, which is don't go in starving.
Don't do it. Been there.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we're ready to move on to number 3.
All right, we'll move on.
Okay.
All right, so number 3 is you want to maximize your activity for the day, right? So you want to make sure you get lots of steps, ideally before you go in. And if you can, make sure you get a workout in that day, right? So the idea here is you want to keep your activity as high as possible on the day that you know you're potentially going to have more calories, right? Yeah. So you want to burn as many calories as you can. The other thing I like about this is if you get, say 8 to 10,000 steps before you even set foot into a family gathering, and you get a workout in as well. One of the great things about that is you go in feeling really good, feeling accomplished, like you did something, and it's likely that you're gonna go in feeling like you don't want to ruin all that hard work that you did by going completely off the rails with your food at the gathering. So it's kind of a twofer. It is. You burn extra calories, which, don't get me wrong, there's no amount of calories that you could burn that could completely offset the amount of food that you could eat at a Thanksgiving or a Christmas gathering with that pumpkin pie and that pecan pie and persimmon pudding and just all the good stuff that there is there. But the goal is that you want to burn as many calories as you can before you get there, and ideally maybe even after. Take a walk afterwards. Yeah, after the meal, walk some of that off. But you want to get your calories as high as possible to offset it just a little bit and to make it less likely that you'll want to go completely off the rails.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember one year on Thanksgiving, I thought it would be a great idea to do 100 burpees before Thanksgiving dinner. And I did it. And oh my gosh, I was so miserable afterwards. And then I got to Thanksgiving dinner and I was like, these noodles don't look nearly as good as they did before because I did all those burpees. And I mean, after the meal was over, I was like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I did this really hard workout before and then I didn't overindulge. I still enjoyed myself, but I didn't feel the need to unbutton my pants afterwards like normal. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right, so the fourth item that we're going to talk about on this list is about making a plan ahead of time. So don't go into your meal thinking you're just going to wing it. Like, I live my life by the seat of my pants. I wing everything I do, but I don't go into holiday dinners thinking, let's just see what happens. Like, that is one thing that I always plan ahead.
It's a recipe for disaster.
That's the truth. So along with that, pick one item that you want to splurge on. So don't go to the meal and go whole hog on everything. It's the holidays. It's okay to splurge a little bit, but pick one thing. So for instance, I have a big sweet tooth. So I always splurge on desserts. So I eat less during the meal, but then if I see 2 desserts that look really good, I'll have a little bit of each. So that way I don't go off the rails, but I'm still able to enjoy the meal and enjoy the desserts. So
it's a happy medium.
It's a very happy medium. Yeah. And then you can still wake up the next day feeling proud that you had a good time, but you don't feel miserable.
So before you go into these gatherings, like how do you get your mind right before you go?
I give myself a pep talk. A pep talk. So I'm really into pep talks, like with my mind. It's like, come on, Joni, like you've worked so hard, you've lost like 50 pounds. And granted, like one meal isn't going to undo all your progress, but one meal turns into 2 meals. And the next thing you know, you've completely gone back into old habits, which is, I think, what we all want to avoid right now. We don't want to go back to how we used to be.
No.
So don't even give yourself the temptation, before you go to the dinner or party or whatever, just remind yourself of how far you've come. Think about how far you still want to go. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Think about how you're going to feel like when you eat to the point that you're miserable. Like nobody enjoys that. So just don't even put yourself in that position. It's never worth it.
Right.
And when you're laying there on the couch and you have to unbutton a couple buttons on your pants because you just feel that bad, like nobody wants to do that. Like, so just, give yourself a pep talk and remind yourself of how far you've come. And, you're worth more than overindulging in a holiday dinner. So, just remember your goals.
Yeah. If your goal is to lose weight, give yourself that pep talk.
Exactly.
And go in with the right mindset.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Yep. Moving on.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
Oh.
All right. So number 5 on the list is you want to make sure that you get your spouse or your other family members on your team before you go in. So this is all about communication, right?
Right.
So before we go in to, say, Thanksgiving or Christmas, if one of us is trying to lose weight, like we kind of have not only do you give yourself a little pep talk, but we kind of have a little talk, right? And we say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I don't want to do. And the whole idea here is that you're going to have someone on your team that is not going to tempt you with things that you don't need or want to be tempted with, right? and you have someone that also can kind of keep an eye on you and rein you back in if they start to see you going off the rails. Like if you're just like camping out next to the appetizer table, just like
oops, I ate 5 cookies.
Yeah, that kind of a thing. It's not good.
It's not good.
So you definitely want to try to have, if you're going there with a spouse or a significant other, you want to definitely have them on your team. If you're going there with kids, like whoever's coming in the vehicle with you, you want to have them on your team so they can kind of keep an eye out for you. And then it's also a good thing, if you're going over to, say, your parents' house or another relative who's hosting, anybody that you think that you can talk to, and hopefully they are aware that you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to be healthier. You want to have them on your team as well, just so they aren't trying to push food in your direction the entire time.
Exactly.
Which is, because when you go into these things, you're just surrounded by pressures, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's brought their favorite dish and everybody wants you to try.
Try this.
Yeah. Everybody, is proud of their dishes.
Yeah. And it's okay to say no.
Yeah. It's totally okay to say no. Nobody's gonna, shun you
Right.
from the family because you didn't eat their pumpkin
Like,
roll.
I remember 10 years ago, you didn't eat my food. Like, it's fine.
I mean, and if they do, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not missing out on anything there. So get your spouse, get your family members, get anybody that you can on your team, communicate with them what you want to do, and communicate with them if you have any needs as far as, dietary things like that going into it, so that you don't have any additional temptation that you don't want to have when you're in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Moving on.
All right, so next on the list is take something healthy to these gatherings. So most of the time it's a pitch-in style, so you're going to take something anyway. So I know we all want to show off our world-class cheesecake recipe, but instead take some veggies or a salad. Some of my favorites, I love a tossed salad. Just make sure you don't put the dressing directly in it because that can add so many added calories. Just keep the dressing on the side. Roasted veggies are an awesome choice. So Brussels sprouts, carrots, broccoli, a nice veggie medley that you just roast in the oven. Super easy, super delicious, very healthy. You just sprinkle it with a little light olive oil and you're good to go.
Veggie tray for
appetizers, because appetizers, I'm glad you brought that up. That is another place where the calories can be so sneaky. So, you're standing by the appetizer table, catching up with your bestie from the 90s. You're just popping some Chex Mix here, some cheese and crackers there, not really thinking about it. And I mean, you can consume like well over 1,000 calories without even realizing it. So be very, very aware of the appetizers you're eating. Stick to the veggie tray that you're going to bring because it's healthy. Even some fresh fruit is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, better than
cheese and crackers or Lord knows what else might be there on the appetizer table.
That's all the cookies. Yeah.
Oh, God help us. It's so good though. But keep it healthy.
Yeah. Bring something healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That way.
And in our experience, the roasted veggies are always a hit. Like everybody loves the roasted veggies. You can't go wrong with a good tossed salad either. Make sure you don't put a bunch of like nuts and dried fruit and whatnot in your salad. Keep it to veggies.
Mainly veggies.
Lettuce, tomato, onion, peppers, a salad, not like sunflower seeds and whatever else. Croutons, avoid the croutons.
Yeah, the idea here is that you're taking very, very low calorie options.
Exactly.
So that even if you were munching, even if you did have the munchies and you needed like to continue munching on something, what you're munching on is so low calorie that it's going to be filling you up, but it's not going to be hitting you hard from a calorie perspective.
Like if you munch on celery, you're golden. That's the best thing you could possibly do.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if you go in with nothing,
then you're gonna eat.
You're just gonna eat what's there.
Everything that's there.
Yeah.
That cheese ball, it's gonna get you. It's coming for you. Take the veggie tray.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next one. All right, next on the list is number 7, I think. I don't know. We kind of stopped keeping track. But so you guys may have heard me say this before, but don't drink your calories. Conserve your calories for the food you want to eat. So go in, drink water, lots of water. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Water. But other than that, if it's calorie free, you can have it.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing.
Diet pop, some very, very low calorie water flavorings, things like that. Yeah. If you need to bring something with you, bring something with you.
Absolutely.
Unsweet tea, use calorie free sweeteners, whatever you have to do. Just keep the calories out of what you're drinking. And along those lines, I would definitely recommend, if you can, avoid the alcohol. We all know that alcohol tends to lower your inhibitions, and especially when it comes to food. Yeah. So if you go in, you can go in with the greatest plan in the world, and then you're feeling confident, and then you have a drink, and then you maybe have a second drink, and then all of a sudden your plan just goes completely out the window because you're feeling good. You've got a little bit of maybe a little bit of a buzz going on, and then all of a sudden you just start eating. And you don't care anymore.
You don't care.
You don't care. You don't care about your
goals.
But
you will care the next day.
You'll care the next day. Yeah, you'll be upset. So go in, stick to your water, stick to your calorie-free beverages, and try to stay away from the alcohol, because the second you start jamming on the alcohol, the whole plan can go out the window.
Absolutely.
And there's no turning back. No turning back.
And you might bust some bad dance moves while you're at it.
Oh, it sounds like you speak from experience on that one. Story for another day?
I have never busted a bad dance move in my life. Thank you. Moving on. All
right, next one.
Okay, so the next item on the list is be strategic with how you fill your plate at mealtime.
Yep.
So, it doesn't matter what order the food is set out in. You go through that line in whatever order you want. A trick that I like to think that I made up all by myself is fill your plate with salad and veggies and lean meat first. So say you brought those roasted veggies we talked about earlier. Fill half your plate with roasted veggies. Get yourself a nice little side salad. The meat, as long as it's not like fried meat, say you have like baked chicken,
some turkey,
baked ham, put that on your plate first. Then whatever room is left, go ahead and fill it up with some carbs. If you want to have just a couple bites of mac and cheese, you'll have some room in there for that. But if you put the veggies and the lean meat on your plate first, that's going to leave far less room for the starches like macaroni, noodles, rolls, mashed potatoes. That way, you're setting yourself up for success when you do it that way, because those veggies and that lean meat, that's going to fill you up so much more anyway. Like, you're not even going to miss the carbs, and you still have a little bit on your plate, so you still get a little taste.
Yeah. You can have a taste.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you start loading up with the carbs first, you're going to put giant portions on there.
Yes. And then those are just going to make you hungrier, and you just want to go back for seconds and thirds, and then there's the desserts, and it's just bad.
It's bad news bears.
Just stop by the eggnog table while we're at it.
All right, anything else on this one?
Nope, I think I'm good.
All right, be strategic about your plates. Let's move on. All right, we're up to number 9 on the list, and number 9 is sample, don't shovel. So the idea here is, if you're going to indulge and you're going to eat a bunch of different things that are not necessarily on your typical plan, then you want to get sample size portions. You want to have a little bit of a lot of things, but not a lot of bit of everything, right? And so a good strategy for this would be to start with a small plate, right? Smallest plate that you can find. Go very, very small sample size portions. You want to eat slowly so that you can actually enjoy these things, right? So if you're getting small portions, take little nibbles and really just take your time tasting the food that you're going to be eating. Enjoy it. That's okay. You can enjoy it, but just get a little bit at a time and make sure that you don't go back for seconds. Yeah. Right? Because, that's where it just goes down the tube.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So small plate, small portions, take your time, enjoy your food, chew your food, don't inhale it.
Exactly.
And just enjoy being there with the people and the experiences, and just let it not be about the food.
Don't let it be about the food. Let it be about family and friends.
Absolutely.
That's what the holidays are about. It's not about the food,
Which is
making memories with those we love.
That's right. Which is actually number 10 on our list, right?
Yeah.
We just segued perfectly into that one.
We are so good.
That was like just natural. Just blow it up. Anyway, so number 10 on the list is focus on people and experiences, not on food and drink, right? Why do we get together during the holidays?
To see those that we haven't seen in a year or more, to make memories with our loved ones,
Absolutely.
To see, now that Lachlan is 3 and old enough to kind of know more what's going on, like, all I want to do is like see her face in front of the Christmas tree. Like the food, the drinks, none of it matters. I just like her excitement just consumes me. And that just makes it all worth it. Like,
yeah. And it's so exciting to be around extended family and to allow them to experience Lachlan and with us.
Yes.
And just have time.
And see her excitement and have time with them to get to know her. And
Absolutely. It's our culture, especially in America, has become increasingly centered around food, right? I mean, birthdays, work, meetings, just
like food is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Like, there's no gathering without food.
Right. And so it doesn't have to be that way. I have no illusions that our Thanksgivings and our Christmases are not going to involve any food.
Right.
But it starts with you. It starts with you starting to make that subtle shift within your own household and your own family to say that it's okay for us to have food, and it's okay for us to have treats, and it's okay for us to indulge. But that doesn't have to be what it's all about.
Right.
It doesn't have to be all about the food that we get to eat because we don't eat it any other time throughout the year.
Absolutely.
Right. So just enjoy your time with friends, enjoy your time with family, and soak up the memories and have good times, make good memories, and let the food just be a side.
Yeah.
A side
it's
dish
just food
to what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
Just have a great holiday season. Have fun.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Give yourself pep talks if you're feeling down. Just think, Junie Portwood told me to remember my goals.
That was awkward.
That was awkward.
It was. Yeah, we should end it here.
We should.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you really should.
You really should.
Yeah.
Awkwardness and all. Welcome to our family.
There's a little button just below this video.
Yeah.
It says subscribe. If you want more of this awkwardness, you should hit that button and hit the bell button next to it so that you can be notified of all incoming awkwardness from now on.
Because there's plenty from our family.
There's, mainly from that side of the table, but it's okay. Love you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We should do the snap. One. No.
Start.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.